Ugh. Subscribe to earn drops from fucking... What's that, Crunchyroll? Get rewards by purchasing or gifting subscriptions to Gaming Stooges channel while they're live in any category. Ends on May 26th. Don't show again. Dismiss.
View details. Neat. Don't we need to have, like, subscriptions for people to buy subscriptions to our channel, though?
I was going to say. It seems counterintuitive. Al's here. Excuse me. All right, let's...
How do people even buy subscriptions? I don't understand.
I have no clue.
I don't know how it works.
Technically, no one buys a subscription. You subscribe to one. And you pay for a subscription, but you don't buy it because you don't own the thing you're subscribing to.
But I want to own Gaming Stooges. How do I buy Gaming Stooges? How much does that cost?
At least $7 worth of Taco Bell.
That's a lot of Taco Bell. Well, that used to be a lot of Taco Bell.
Yeah. It used to be.
Like
now it's like
burrito.
You can get a box. Like, you can get a Lux Cravings box on the app for like $6. And that's not bad. I mean, that's like choice of burrito, choice of taco, choice of side, and a drink. Get a beefy 5 and a cheesy gordita crunch with a chips and cheese or a Fiesta potatoes. And that's a whole meal right there.
Yeah, but $7 used to give me 18 meals.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you used to be able to get way more in just a $5 box, but, you know.
Yeah. These days, am I right?
Hashtag these days. Am I right?
Trademark the Gaming Stooges.
We already did that. Just kidding.
Did we?
No.
I was going to say. We're about as trademarked as the Dirty Skanks.
Yeah, but fuck anyone who tries to take that name.
Yeah, I'll piss.
We should put a trademark on Gaming Stooges one day. Because if some schmucks, like some group of schmucks took the name Gaming Stooges and had like millions of subscribers, I would be pissed off.
Let's trademark it so no one can be successful with the name.
Only us can be unsuccessful.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get into it. Case 5. Turnabout for tomorrow.
I can't wait for the game to start, folks.
Has the game not started?
The game hasn't started yet.
Oh, the game.
I see a blank screen.
Okay. That's right. I was in the process of sharing my screen. Okay, do your lines.
No one can escape the past.
Blood.
Was there more lines than that, or was that the only line so far?
Blood. That was the only line so far.
All right, perfect.
What was I gonna say?
The sins we've committed, and the sadness we've caused.
The shadows we've cast.
The shadows we've cast, because we're Shadow the Hedgehog. Is this why it's rated M?
He's the being the Throne of Blood box art.
No matter how far we run, our past remains, as ever present as the moon in the sky.
Oh, Al was asking, is this why it was rated M? You will see. You will see.
If you take away Phoenix's voiceover like segments, this is just an anime opening.
I mean, yeah, basically.
There it is. It looms and waits for the day when we are forced to face it. But only in doing so can we truly make peace and move on in hope towards tomorrow.
Nice. We actually didn't miss any of the lines.
No, I'm really good at my job. Now I'm going to go play Dragon Quest XI-S, Echoes of an Elusive Age for the Nintendo Switch family of entertainment systems.
What was I going to say earlier? I lost my train of thought. We were talking about,
The screen not being shared to me.
Oh, yeah, right. I was in the process of, I was going to share my screen on Discord, and then I realized, oh, I don't have my Switch turned on yet. And, oh, I don't have my Switch plugged in yet. So then I got distracted by setting my Switch up. And
how
forgot.
dare you get distracted with setting up the stream so you couldn't set up the stream.
Yeah.
They took Athena from the courtroom straight to the station. She's probably being questioned at this very moment. Dead.
They're both dead. It made it seem like they're dead.
I know. After this past year, I took it for granted that those two would always be here. But now, Apollo has gone off on his own to seek his own truth. And my pursuit of the truth only ended up with Athena becoming a new suspect. Some boss I turned out to be. It's even quieter in here than usual. Usual. Yeah, it seems so empty too.
Even with
Except for
all
the crap.
I was gonna say, even with all this shit everywhere.
All this fucking garbage.
There's no way that it could echo in here with all of the shit that we have lying around.
Trucy did that herself.
Yeah.
I just don't get it, Daddy. All of your reasoning during the trial seemed perfectly solid. Yeah. And I still believe it was. At least based on what we know. But now, Athena is the one who's being accused.
Not a flashback.
During the trial of the bombing and murder that occurred at the Cosmos Space Center.
You know, I bet, you know who did the bombing, I bet? The fucking Blue Bombers.
The Blue Bombers?
Had a baseball game and hit so many home runs that the space station exploded. Case closed. Let's get drunk.
Case closed.
Shout out to the Backyard World Champions, the Blue Bombers. Go watch the Backyard Baseball stream VODs.
The lighter used by the real culprit was found. This lighter proved the defendant, Solomon Starbuck, innocent. Who starts with case 5 and needs this recap?
I was gonna say.
Who is this for?
The only thing I could think is that if you, like, take a long break in between each case, but I don't know. Even then. I feel like if I put the game down for a while, it's almost never after I finish a case. It's almost always like in the middle of a case when I get bored. Because honestly, like when I first played Dual Destinies when it came out in 2013, I was like really excited for it. Played it all the way up. Like I was like waited until I think it was like noon. It wasn't a midnight release because it was an eShop exclusive for the 3DS. So I had to wait until the eShop updated. But I played the game like all the way up until I want to say like day 2 of investigation for the second case. And I was bored.
Damn.
Case like I didn't put the game away for a while, but I stopped playing it for like 2 months at least. But then once I got back into it, I like powered through it and I completed the game in like a week.
That was like the second best case too.
What was the first best?
Out of the main game, or the second or the first best case too?
I mean that's basically what I was wondering, if the DLC case is the first best.
I mean, when this game came out originally, it didn't exist, so
yeah.
I mean, it is the best case. That's no argument here. The best case is obviously case 3, the one I hate the most. That's the one you would love the most.
No.
Yeah, that's how that works. Anyway, but Athena's prints were on it instead. And she was subsequently arrested for the murder.
I will say, though, once I got, like, especially once I got to case 4 in this game, I was like, my eyes were glued to the screen. Like, I was really into case 4 and 5 when I first played this game.
Once you get out of case 2 and 3, you get to the real game, which is cases 1, 4, and 5.
Yeah. Which are all like, you know, not to say that like, I mean, I'll say it, 2 and 3 are filler. I mean, but they're like really fucking long filler.
They are, so like in most games, like the middle cases are sort of filler.
Yeah, but like in games like the first game or in Trials and Tribulations, like the filler cases are still fun.
Yeah.
In this game, the filler cases just suck. They're
What's
too
going on,
long.
Darkest Mustard?
What's up, Darkest Mustard?
Everyone's doing.
Yeah. We're doing.
But Athena couldn't have done it. It just doesn't make any sense.
She's definitely doing that echo with her own mouth and not like it's not a natural echo.
Sense, Daddy, sense. No, none of it does. I've been racking my brain, but I can't even figure it out. Out. Erg. Where is the flaw in my reasoning? What have I got? What have I got wrong in this case?
It's not necessarily that he's got something wrong. It's just that there's information he doesn't know.
You know, Daddy, if Athena was here, she wouldn't just be sitting around thinking. She'd be out there doing something.
So go out there and do something, old man.
Yeah, old man, what I said. You are going to defend Athena, right, Daddy?
What? No, she's a murderer.
What? Fuck no. Of course I won't. She did it. Of course I will. Thanks, Trucy. I needed that push. Trucy's right. The trial's tomorrow. There's no time to waste. This is literally the same day.
Yeah.
For those at home who are wondering.
Same day as the trial we just had.
Game ends right there. Yeah. Fuck no. She definitely did it. Credits. If I'm going to prove Athena's innocence, I'd better get out there and find some evidence. Off we go then. We're on a hunt for evidence that'll prove Athena's innocence. Great, but before we go, I'd better tidy up the evidence I have on hand.
Unnecessary evidence left at the office.
See, that makes more sense than him, like, fucking...
throwing it out at the fucking detention center.
Yeah.
Just throwing it in the fucking trash bin.
Here we go. Athena is probably still in the middle of being questioned.
It's one of the ones that you have to, like, step on the pedal to open the lid, and then he just, like, just dumps it all in.
Yoink. So Trucy's right. The thing to start with is talking to people at the Space Center.
Okay. Trucy's coming with us.
When you're done with this, there's actually an in-game achievement that you could do if you had talked to Trucy about what to do, and it deals with Apollo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if it's still there after this, we should go back.
Okay.
Director Cosmos, do you have a minute?
Urgh. Galactic scooter, full speed ahead. Drives off at like 5 miles an hour.
Director! He scooted away. His expression changed the instant he saw you, Daddy. Yeah, well, I dragged his name through the mud pretty good at the trial earlier today.
Okay, here we go. We can just... what to do.
I still can't believe Apollo really left us.
Oh my god, is it? Could it be? It's the loud-ass birds from the original trilogy.
Hell yeah.
That's all you... It's the same bird sound effect.
It was so sudden. Maybe he got tired of being my assistant for my magic tricks?
It couldn't be that he got sick of cleaning the toilets. That was Apollo's favorite.
Yeah, he begged to do it. I don't think it's your fault, Trucy. But I made him clean the toilet a lot.
Literally.
It's canon.
It's canon. He's the toilet cleaner.
He's toilet boy.
Oh my god. Prophetic.
And I made him go bring in the newspaper. It was my fault. I just know it. Oh, Apollo. Sniffle.
If only I had made you clean the toilets even more.
Yeah, surely you would have stuck around. I really don't think it was your fault, Trucy. But I didn't realize Apollo was wearing so many hats around here either.
Apollo doesn't wear hats, Phoenix, you idiot.
Smack. Apparently, if you did all of the things that you would get a trophy. Oh, no, it's the first part of A Man of Many Hats. So never mind.
Oh, okay, I see. So there's another...
Yeah, there's more to it.
Okay.
Okay. How could you suspect Athena? It's just ridiculous. It must be some kind of conspiracy.
I actually kind of like the way this game does like achievements and trophies by like having them hidden behind like something you wouldn't think to examine, or like a dialogue box that you might not choose necessarily, or like if you present this thing to this person.
Yeah, which is not necessarily like progress related, but it's like something funny.
Yeah. I mean, it's better than like the way any Telltale game has their achievements, and it's literally just complete chapter 1, complete chapter 2, complete chapter 3.
Oh, but I love farming trophies that way. It's so easy.
It is a good way to farm trophies.
A conspiracy, huh? Well, it certainly is some kind of mistake, that's for sure.
I love her pout animation and how she just repeats it over and over again. She needs to get her point across.
Yeah. First of all, we have to bust Athena out of the detention center. Then we have to chase down the people who framed her. I am going to blame Simon Blackwell.
Oh, that's a good idea, Trucy.
We'll sneak around the world from
Kiev?
Why do you keep headbutting me? Kiev to Carolina, with the fuzz hot on our tails.
I like how Carolina is the one you were like, what's that one?
What's that one?
Also, which Carolina? North or
Carolina?
South?
Which of the 18 Carolinas are we going to go to?
What's the first Google result for Carolina? Carolina Biological Supply.
Oh, okay.
Carolina Shoe. The Carolina Panthers. Carolina Hurricanes. Wikipedia page for Carolina. Okay, there's a lot. There's a lot of Carolinas. Which one is she talking about? Carolina, West Virginia?
Also, I like you can tell the age of this game because they changed the spelling of Kiev.
I noticed that, yeah.
Yeah. And so, like, this has the old spelling.
That's funny.
Isn't that exactly the same as the plot of the movie you watched the other day?
What was it called? The Phantom Menace?
Yes, Daddy. They were in Carolina doing pod racing.
I was about to say that's where they had pod racing.
I'm so glad I get to voice Trucy for like a decent chunk of this game, finally. Yeah. We were here only yesterday. Oh, hey! Mr. Starbuck, you've been released, huh?
Yup, and I came straight here. This is all thanks to you and your team, Mr. Wright. You've given me a second chance to fly into space again. I can't thank you enough. Except...
You so happy you get to do that again?
Yeah. It's my favorite.
What's wrong? I thought he'd be happy to be acquitted.
As I was coming out of the detention center, I saw Miss Yikes.
He saw Athena? I've never been able to do that.
I don't know why that got me.
I don't know why I even said it.
I've never been able to do that. What does that even mean?
I don't know. He's never been able to see Athena. She's like a ghost.
Oh, man.
Athena's not even real.
Um,
Athena's Apollo's imaginary friend because he's been scrubbing the toilets too much.
What if Athena, or what if Phoenix just needs glasses and he literally can't see her?
Oh yeah, like the last time he was able to see was like in the flashback sections of Apollo Justice.
Damn. I was at a loss for words. I didn't know what to say to the poor girl. And then, you know what? She flashed a peace sign at me. Congratulations on your acquittal, she said. Now you can go back to space someday.
Yeah, that almost sounded like Athena. I can almost picture it.
But I saw her eyes. They were red and swollen from crying. She's got to be suffering. She must be so worried. And yet she went out of her way to be nice and give me that big smile.
She held back her own tears so she could give someone else a smile. That's so Raven.
I was about to say that.
That's so Athena. Coming to you. Coming soon to the Disney Channel.
That's so Athena. There's no question about it. That sounds like it's going to be a hit television show. That girl is innocent. Please, Mr. Wright, you have to make sure she goes free. Yeah, never. I was going to ignore it because it feels like it happens every fucking stream.
What if you turned off Windows?
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Then the screen just ends.
Boop.
Yes. Okay, there we go. I turned off antivirus notifications.
Beautiful.
Which is what it usually is. And then they can put me in the prison instead. I don't mind.
We can't have that either, Mr. Starbuck. Don't worry, Mr. Starbuck. I'm going to give her the very best defense I can. Just after I've cleared all my dailies in Dokkan battle. I promise to get her acquitted. Just like I did for you. Maybe.
I know she'll be alright with you in her corner. I know you'll never give up on her.
Who?
Apollo has a fine boss to look up to. I think his
Who?
voice is becoming too close to Apollo. Yeah, let's talk to him.
Isn't that the point?
Yeah, I guess so. I still can't believe Launchpad 1 was switched with the Space Museum.
Are you still here?
We gotta talk to him.
I mean, what could have made Director Cosmos do such a thing?
Also, funny that Phoenix would say that when he's the one that works here.
Yeah.
I haven't the foggiest idea. So there never was gonna be a launch that day. Not from the very beginning.
Nope.
I wonder if Clay knew.
Nope. I imagine he must have. Surely he would have noticed when you went to board the rocket.
It's pathetic to think I was the only one who got taken in. But I guess that's about how it goes when you're worth less than space debris.
Is he going to be all right, Daddy? He seems more depressed than Apollo after I've made him scrub the toilets 3 times in an hour. 5 hours in a row. His expression looks as dark as a black hole. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Well, that's just how he is. Don't worry about it.
The murderer.
The murderer. So, Mr. Starbuck, do you remember anything about the murderer?
Not really. I only saw a shadowy figure in the dark after all.
Did it look like an 18-year-old who never went to public school? Yeah. I guess that was a little too much to hope for.
Hey, I heard something from the police, though. They said they never did find a 10 caliber gun down that trash chute.
Just as I thought, the culprit must have carried it away with them when they escaped. How big is the trash chute? Couldn't someone just fall down it and die screaming?
Probably.
I hope so. So, was the person you saw holding a gun Mr. Starbuck?
I couldn't really tell.
Coward? But it wasn't Athena, right? You could tell if the person was male or female, tall or short, had public school education or not.
I couldn't even tell you that much. Man, I'm useless. When the culprit opened the door and some light came in, I should have been able to see.
The door. Ah, yes. As I recall, they opened this door here as they made their escape. The door to Launchpad 1, right?
Yeah. Wait. I can't tell what voice to give him without a visual.
Just give him the depressed voice.
Except right now, the door leads to the Space Museum.
You mean the launch pad and the Space Museum are switched right now?
Yeah, they're trying to investigate the theory you came up with in court.
So they're recreating the conditions, huh? I'd like to see what's beyond that door now. Mr. Starbuck, could you open this door for us?
Sure, just let me have my prints scanned here. Oh, I guess he's fine right now.
I just always imagined him depressed because he's depressed. Do the launch pads get switched back and forth a lot?
Well, back when the Space Museum was Launchpad 2, they used to switch the pads around at times.
But these days, Launchpad 2 is only used as a tourist attraction, right?
The beautiful thing about the Ace Attorney streams are that we only ever use the first take of each of our lines, because when I was done saying my last line, I'm like, can I do that one again? But I'm just like, nope. There's no such thing as doing it again.
Not in this. I hope someone cuts down all of our streams and adds in our exact voice clips over the game one day.
Oh, God.
Just mods the game to just include us talking.
Oh.
Like, this screen right now, when you open it up, would just be me talking about the game and not the actual line that you're recording.
Yeah.
And it would play the entire time while you're on the screen.
Yeah. Right. Because quite frankly, the Space Center needs the money.
I hear you. Times sure are tough. Well, if he needs the money, I have a new janitor position that just opened up. Diddy, let's go check out what's beyond that door. Sure, let's go.
Hey, why don't I come along? I can show you around.
Sorry. We're a party of two. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say. Oh my god.
Another room?
Are those leaves? Huh? I wonder what these dead leaves are doing here. Maybe they were stuck to the bottom of somebody's shoe. Thought she said Diddy for a second. Come on, Diddy. I mean, Daddy. There are lots of trees around the Space Center. She's right, you know. It's a modern, state-of-the-art building, but it's surrounded by trees, flanked on all sides. But, I don't know. If they were stuck to the bottom of somebody's shoes, wouldn't they look more crushed up? These don't look like they've been stepped on. Maybe there's some kind of secret hatch in the corridor, and they came in that way? No, not everything's set up like a magician's stage, you know. And then I think you would have to examine the lock. Examine the door lock. So, this is another one of those devices for opening the door, huh?
Yup, but this one doesn't require fingerprint verification. You just hit the button and open sesame.
So when you and Clay went through here, you didn't need to show your prints either. That's right, Trucy. Just like how the culprit didn't need to scan their prints. When they escaped back out of the Space Museum corridor into Boarding Lounge 2. Well, I don't see anything else that jumps out at me. Except for that man with a knife in the corner.
No, it's okay.
Before noticing the hand on screen, I thought it was a fancy water thing for a second. Oh, like a water fountain?
Cooler?
Or a water cooler? That'd be funny. It's a funny place to have a water cooler fountain. And I imagine this corridor is built exactly like the Launchpad 1 corridor, except on less fire. Okay. We can go back to the entrance.
Okay.
Okay, dokey.
Ugh.
Time for one of everyone's favorites.
Oh boy. Ugh. Curse the wretch who sullied my good name. Reverse course and full speed away.
Director Cosmos, wait. I'll handle this, Daddy. Take that.
Ah! The mobility system has been compromised.
I shot it with a gun. Trucy's knife throw was a direct hit to one of his tires.
Not quite a gun, but pretty close.
Pretty fucking close.
There was a sound effect when she said that.
Should have been a blam sound effect.
Suck on that.
Suck on that. And the streak continues. Maybe I should have kept closer watch on what trick she's been practicing.
My dear old battleship, we fought many a skirmish together. It has been an honor.
He's still able to turn for his character animations, but Diddy, he's going to blow that thing up. Nah. I bet all the button will do is make it go haywire again.
Very well. I surrender. As a prisoner of war, I expect to be treated honorably.
Absolutely not. Who are you again? Director Cosmos, when you were talking in court about switching the launch pads, you used your right to remain silent about the reason as to why. Flashback.
Flashback? The center of the cosmos is shrouded in mystery, but I don't have any secrets left. Now that my battleship has been destroyed and I've been taken prisoner.
That's all it took.
And just like that.
No secrets left, huh? I beg to differ. Looks like I'll have to undo his psych locks if I want to get to the bottom of this. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Break those locks. Brr. I want you to tell me everything you're hiding about the switching of the 2 launch pads.
I refuse. You can't make me. I can hold out longer than anyone.
I hope I never get like this when I'm old. Now, let's see. Where to start? This is how you explained your motive for switching the launch pads. You did it to save the astronauts. Thanks to you switching the launch pads, the astronauts escaped injury from the blast. Instead, they safely boarded the museum's rocket, far away from the actual explosion.
Humph. My astronauts were raring to go out on an authentic adventure in space. How do you propose that I had them board a fake rocket without them noticing?
I agree, you couldn't have done it without help. For one, they would have figured it out the instant they stepped into the Space Museum. You figured you could fool Mr. Starbuck once he'd been drugged with his medication, but without the help of this person, it would have been impossible to pull your plan off.
Trucy Wright.
Trucy Wright. Hey, did it, Daddy? It
was
me.
Is it fucking Candace?
No, it's Clay Taryn.
Oh, it's Clay Taryn.
Oh, it's Clay Taryn.
It's Clay Taryn, okay.
This is Clay Taryn. You must have gotten Mr. Taryn to help you.
Ugh.
He stole the tranquilizers from his mentor's locker and slipped them to him. And then, with Mr. Starbuck in a daze, they boarded the replica rocket in the museum.
Ah! Someone please help this poor prisoner of war!
How is he able to spin around like that? If you really wanted to save the astronauts' lives, shouldn't you have just called off the launch?
If I could have done that, do you think I would have gone to all that trouble?
I guess he must have had a compelling reason why he couldn't have called it off. But how did you know to switch the pads in advance of the bombing incident?
Well, that's because I was warned in advance. Once I received that warning, it was my duty to ensure my astronaut safety.
But it was just a warning. It could even have been a prank.
It was just a prank. We were just fooling you.
Why did you believe it so completely?
Because I went to one of those mediums that everyone's been talking about these days. Could it
Still
be?
have those? I thought they were all dead. Oh? I didn't realize channeling was back in the Vogue.
Vogue? Voig?
Voig? Besides, I thought it was you yourself that got the warning via telephone.
Yes, that's right. The bomber contacted me personally. My battleship is equipped with a special advanced communication system, you see.
AKA a regular old telephone.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
Wow.
Planning another launch? I see you haven't learned. I'll never forget the terror I felt when I received that call.
The bomber said, "It's been a while." Just like that? And that was enough to make you take the threat seriously? Perhaps Director Cosmos took the threat so seriously because the Space Center had been involved in a bombing once before? Maybe... the culprit in the current case is the same person who was involved in this incident.
In this incident.
This one. This one.
The
Hat One Miracle.
Yeah.
The person involved in the Hat 2 bombing was the person involved in the Hat 2 bombing. Why was that a choice? Was that a choice? The Hat One Miracle. That epic story of survival. People across the nation know it now as a heroic tale of bravery, when it was simply just a deal high in space. Oh my god. But in truth, it was an act of sabotage perpetrated by our current killer, wasn't it? Space Police. Very few knew about the previous plot, so when the caller said, "It's been a while," you knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that the danger was real, and it wasn't a prank.
Gah! Didn't anyone ever tell you to go easy on an ex-serviceman?
No?
Yes, the Hat One Miracle really was a desperate battle against an act of sabotage. I even lost the life of one of my staff members in the fight.
Sabotage, murder. So this is the ugly truth behind that Hat One Miracle?
I let my guard down. I thought the saboteur had been caught, and that the case was closed.
Huh? Wait a minute. The murder at the Space Center 7 years ago. This must be the person Director Cosmos thought was the culprit.
Trucy Wright.
Trucy Wright, that's right. I killed someone.
It was Ponko.
It was Ponko. That's right. No, it's the fucker that's in jail right now.
Right now?
Right this second. He's a dummy. I mean, she's a dummy, too. It was Juniper Woods. Why isn't she in jail?
It was Juniper Woods. I keep forgetting that she's a part of this case.
She's not, but...
I mean, she's not, but, like, she has a profile. In fact, I think they just carry over the profiles from the previous case.
I'm sure they do.
Like, literally, like, we haven't seen 90% of these characters yet in this case.
Yeah.
But it directly follows the previous case, so.
Yeah.
Anyway. Who the fuck is it?
Simon Blackwell.
Okay.
The guy who's in jail right now. This very instant.
Athena, yikes, got it.
Yep, you got it. Simon Blackwell, the murder suspect in a case that happened here 7 years ago. The place and time of the two incidents, the murder and the sabotage, were the same. So you thought that he committed both crimes? But while Prosecutor Blackwell was behind bars, you got another threatening call. If the culprit this time is the same as 7 years ago, then it isn't Simon Blackwell. Realizing that, you were shaken. It meant the true culprit's been running free all this time. Yeah, I have. You tell him, Daddy. Uh-oh.
Nah, how do you keep seeing straight through me? Are you good, Landon?
Yeah, 1 second.
Okay.
The reason why Director Cosmos wouldn't talk about why he switched the launch pads is connected to the truth behind the one miracle. Welcome back, Darkest Mustard. The sabotage and murder that happened. Okay. At this space center 7 years ago. Director Cosmos, tell us what you're hiding.
If you really want to understand the reason I decided to switch the launch pads.
Why the fuck would he deliver across the street? What an asshole.
We'll have to start with the story of that horrible nightmare from 7 years ago.
I hope you didn't tip. 7 years ago. You mean the so-called Summer of Ska? The Hat One Miracle?
The launch went smoothly, but once the ship entered outer space, then the troubles began. It was all the handiwork of a certain person and their evil scheme.
So, Mr. Starbucks' traumatic experience wasn't accidental. He didn't accidentally get drunk in space and get pulled over by space cops.
Not only that, but before the launch, a very valuable piece of moon rock was stolen. But that wasn't the worst of it. One of my staff members was murdered.
On my birthday, I had to come in to work. Well, I had no idea such awful events were behind that exciting story of space heroism. The Phantom Menace. It's the only movie they've watched.
Yeah. It's the only movie Phoenix has watched. Everyone else watches other movies.
I choose to believe Trucy's pretty much only watched
The Phantom Menace
too.
You know what? That's fair.
Hi there, baby girl. Are you yelling at mommy? Why? Oh. Was it mommy's fault or was it Mormore's fault? Was it great guy? Oh. Bye-bye. She just started spitting up. Anyway.
All that, in spite of the Space Center having a very strict security in those days. This was just after 9/11, you see.
I read that as in Sprite.
In spite of the Space Center having a very strict security.
Yeah. Sprite trademark.
Sprite. All personal effects were examined thoroughly, coming or going.
I'll show you coming.
You couldn't even smuggle a withered old leaf through those checkpoints. Hey, wait a minute.
Hey, wait a minute. So, do you have any clue who was responsible for the sabotage?
At the very least, I know it wasn't Simon Blackquill. I don't know enough to identify the true culprit, but it's clear what that person is. To put it simply, a spy.
A spy? You mean somebody who infiltrates a foreign country? Like a Phantom Menace? And carries out dangerous missions? And always gets the girl? Like Obi-Wan Kenobi in The Phantom Menace? Somebody's watching way too many late-night movies. Well, I guess we're talking about blowing up a rocket and stealing research material. It's not all that surprising that a spy could be behind it all.
The spy.
The spy. The spy.
Make no mistake, There's cutthroat rivalry between nations in the space R&D race. Some try to outdo each other by any means possible, even deliberate obstruction.
Any means necessary?
Oh no.
The end justifies the means?
I was watching House last night with
Hell
Bethany,
yeah.
and there was a scene where one of the characters said, like, I don't remember what the context was, but she said, so the end justifies the means, and I was so tempted to pause it and just send a picture of it to you. But I didn't.
Good, thank you.
Because I was lazy.
My life is better because you didn't ruin it. Thank you.
My life is better because you didn't ruin it. You know what?
You gonna add a quote?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. You should have, Jack. He should have ruined my life, but he chose not to. Jack chose unviolence that day. Come on. Come on. Stop rubbing against the fucking leg of the desk and jump up on here. Old man, come on.
Perfect. Okay. 7 years ago, we got a call before the launch warning us of sabotage. They played the Beastie Boys song Sabotage over the phone.
Yeah, that makes sense. The same MO as this time. I have the tape recording.
Yes, and here I thought the perpetrator had been caught, but it looks like I was wrong.
Prosecutor Blackwell seems more like a ninja than a spy, don't you think?
Or a samurai.
No! Aren't ninjas and spies basically the same thing?
I was going to give Phoenix shit for that, but he's only seen The Phantom Menace. I can't expect him to know the difference. But there's a good reason we failed to find the real spy. A massive cover-up by the government. Government officials were too embarrassed to admit that they had allowed such a thing to happen at the hands of a spy.
Don't tell me they made the police rush the investigation?
They did indeed. And then, to cover up the sabotage, they cleaned up the story.
And that was the Hat 1 miracle, wasn't it? But then 7 years ago, or 7 years later, the same MO, playing the Beastie Boys Sabotage over the phone.
Yeah.
That must have been the director's reason for switching the launch pads.
Okay, I'm gonna quick break so I can go pee.
Quick break so he can piss.
Yay! Pee time.
Piss.
Okay, I'm back.
Hello, back.
Sorry about that, I'm back now. Found out the delivery driver also had a fake profile creep alert. What does that mean?
He's a creep.
Yeah, but like... how so? Just like 7 years ago.
7 years ago, the spy gave you advance warning of their plans. Just like this time. That is what made you decide to switch the launch pads, wasn't it?
That's right. The killer knew from the facts of the case 7 years ago, despite the cover-up. They knew about the sabotage, the moon rock, the murder. And they said... Driver had a female profile pic and a female name, and a dude came out of the car. Oh, I bet he does that to, like, get more people to... or, like, to get more, like, deliveries or whatever. I mean, I don't really know how that works. I don't really order food delivered hardly ever, but I would not be surprised if that was the case.
Or better tips.
That too.
Yeah.
Because I imagine most people pay with a card when they order food, and they tip ahead of time. So, that could be the case. You don't want things to go like they did 7 years ago, do you? Well, then again, like when someone orders food online, they're not going to see what their driver looks like before they order it, so I don't fucking know. That's weird. I immediately thought of calling off the launch, but the government wouldn't let me. We don't give in to the likes of terrorists. We must proceed for our country's honor. It was quite a moving speech, actually.
Moving? Really? Maybe if you're easily inspired by political talking points.
But I knew the truth. We had been warned, which meant that the danger was very real. Well, I gotta sneeze. Excuse me. And I knew there was no way to stop the spy. No matter what I did, they would find a way. Thank you, Al. That's why I switched the launch pads and staged the moving rescue scene. First, I snuck into the center the night before and switched the launch pads. That way, the astronauts would go from the boarding lounge 1 to the Space Museum. Then, I put a closed for repairs sign at the door to launch pad 1 and boarding lounge 2.
You did that so normal visitors wouldn't enter, right? What else did you do?
I enlisted the help of several staff members, including Taryn.
But you didn't let Mr. Starbuck in on it?
He'd already been through enough, and he's no good at lying to keep a secret. I'm afraid I had no choice but to have him drugged. My plan went well, until...
Kaboom. Clay's murder.
After the culprit made their escape, I switched the launch pads back. I did it in such a way that no one would find out, but after all that effort... Taryn is dead, and the Hat 2 is destroyed. And the Hope capsule, which had returned to us only recently, was also lost in that blast. My home, the center of the cosmos. My beautiful Cosmos Space Center is done for!
Wait, what did he mean by the Hope capsule being lost in that blast?
The quote, Hope, unquote, capsule.
I thought the Hope capsule was found at the crime scene with Mr. Terran. It had just been brought back by the Hope space probe with astronaut samples inside. Flashback.
Flashback to yesterday.
You were literally just up here, buddy. It's your fault you went down.
The capsule was being held in a safe place, in a safe in Launchpad 1. But I gave it to Terran before the incident so it wouldn't be destroyed in the explosion. The idea was that, with it safely in Terran's possession, he could make it look like he rescued it during the staged miraculous escape. But our precious research materials ended up lost to that explosion anyway.
But I thought Clay was supposed to keep it safe.
You misunderstand. The launchpad explosion wasn't the one that the capsule was lost to. It was lost after the police confiscated it as evidence. It was the courtroom bombing from the other day. The capsule was there in the courtroom as evidence and was blown to smithereens.
Yet another casualty of that blast.
Ultimately, I think the culprit may have known about the switching of the launch pads.
What? How?
The police found a wiretapping device during their investigation today. A bug aboard my battleship. A tap on my Invent's communication system.
A wire on that phone?
Yes, a wire on this very phone. I use this phone to give instructions to my staff about the launchpad switch. Just to the few select members who knew about the plan. Just before the incident, staff members were coming in and out of Launchpad 1. The culprit probably slipped in with them amid the confusion. If it helps your sniffles, try hot sauce or pepper.
I think you should snort pepper.
I think that's a fantastic idea.
I think you should do it. I think you should do a full line of pepper and just snort it.
I genuinely cannot imagine how those would help. I sneezed because I have allergies. That's it. Fuck, I forgot to buy more Zyrtec at the store.
You know what? You should try to buy more Zyrtec at the store.
I should.
And planted the bomb then. Yes. if they were tapping your phone, they definitely could pull something like that off. So you really think the same spies behind this incident and the one 7 years ago?
Yes, I'm sure of it. Then, that's you.
Then this spy must have been the Phantom Menace Prosecutor Blackwell has been chasing. Oh, right.
This is a flashback.
I was gonna try and do it though, but in Blackwell's voice.
You mean?
So if we can
Fulbright's voice?
No, in Blackwell's voice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Fulbright saying it as Blackwell. So if we can find this Phantom Menace on Blu-ray. That's right. We can clear Athena's name. Too bad we can't get it out of the Blu-ray player at home. And then there's the matter of Prosecutor Blackwell, too. What about him? Well, if the culprit of 7 years ago is the same person as the current incident, it would mean Prosecutor Blackwell isn't innocent. That still is an if, though. I wonder how dangerous that guy would be in court without handcuffs.
I mean, he breaks out of them every time. It doesn't matter. The real thing that stops him is the taser.
But if we're going on a ghost hunt, count me in.
I love Spookfest.
How did Athena get in trouble? She was
accused of murder.
She was accused of being the murderer of Clay Terran.
And for blowing up the space station.
But mostly the murder.
It's all over for me. Spin, spin, whirl, whirl. I'm done for. The center of the cosmos is doomed.
Do you think he's going to be all right, Daddy? Well, at least he'll be in good company. There must be planets out there he can spin with. Which reminds me, I'd like to delve a little deeper into that Hat 1 mission, too. He's riding a scooter. A broken scooter, but a scooter nonetheless.
I mean, it's not broken necessarily. She just popped one of his tires.
He was going to press a button to have it self-destruct.
I don't think it was going to actually self-destruct.
I think it was. I choose to believe it was.
If you want to learn more, start with the Space Museum. There's a Hat 1 exhibit there. Oh, don't mind me. I'll just keep spinning here and see how the cosmos unfolds. And then he just starts vomiting and it goes in a circle.
It's like he achieved spiritual enlightenment or something. I'm sure he'll stop when he gets dizzy. Let's go visit the Space Museum. So?
He's just going to spin here forever.
Forever?
Yes, Trucy. Forever.
Yay!
All right, Space Museum.
Let's see. Where's the exhibit on the launch 7 years ago? There. That's the Hat 1 exhibit. That little pointy thing right over there. Oh, wow. Look at that photo of the team. I wish we had a team photo, Daddy. There's Clay and Mr. Starbuck, Director Cosmos, Aurora Blackwell, and even Ponko. But I've never seen that woman on the right before. Everybody seems so happy. Well, except for Director Cosmos. Let's check the newspaper article, too. Hat 1 launch imminent. And there's a photo of the the Hope space probe. I guess it's only natural it doesn't talk about... Oh, sorry, Daddy. Doesn't talk about the murder or the sabotage. They really were keeping it a secret, just like the director said. Daddy, take a look at that jacket. It must be the Hat 1 team's uniform jacket. It's the same design as the one Apollo was wearing, the one that belonged to Clay. Actual jacket worn by a Hat 1 team member, it says. Not a replica, huh? Wonder if it's Mr. Starbucks.
Hello? Who's this?
Oh,
it's Juniper. What the fuck is Juniper doing here?
Oh, Miss Woods. What brings you here? Why do you still exist?
I heard Thena got arrested, so I've been looking for you, Mr. Wright. I thought you might be here, at the scene.
Of my crime? You must be so worried, but rest assured, I'm gonna do my very best to defend her.
Thena's going through such a hard time. I hope she doesn't lose heart. Even just coming back to this place must have been really difficult for her.
Huh? What do you mean, the Cosmos Space Center?
What? You didn't know? She used to live here when she was a little girl.
Is that legal? She did? No, I didn't know. No wonder she never went to public school.
She literally didn't go to public school. She grew up in the fucking Space Center.
Miss Woods, could you tell me more in detail?
Thena's mom worked here. If I remember right, she was a doctor of psychology or something like that.
But why was a psychology fucky specialist working at a space research facility? What are you doing? Hey, leave that alone. Hey, leave that alone. Hey, leave that alone. It's not for you.
I don't really know. But I do know that she lived and worked here, so Thena lived here too.
So, it was far from Thena's first time here. Wonder why she didn't mention it.
She probably didn't want to talk about it. This place is connected to a very sad memory for her. Sad memory.
Sad memory. A sad memory? Can you tell me about it?
There was a terrible incident here. It was 7 years ago.
7 years ago.
7 years ago.
That was the summer of Ska.
Oh my god.
The same time frame as the Hat 1 launch.
Thena's mom, in the robotics lab, she was murdered.
What?
After it happened, Thena stopped coming to school.
Poor Athena. And all this time, she never let on at all.
I was so worried about her. I came here so many times hoping to see her. But I never saw her again. After a while, we started exchanging letters. But I didn't get to see her face to face for 7 long years.
And so the first time you'd seen her in 7 years was during Prof. Court E's case?
That's right. And I was so surprised. She was like a completely different person. So cheerful and happy.
What was Athena like as a child?
She was very sensitive and kind. She didn't talk very much. She liked to draw and paint at home.
That's completely different from the Athena we know now. I can't even picture it.
We never left the Space Center much because she was very sensitive to other people's emotions. When she went to crowded places, she'd get dizzy from all the emotions flying around.
Crowded places like public school. Must have been hard to hear people's hearts as well as their voices.
She always wore these big, heavy-looking headphones. She said her mother made them for her as part of her research.
Huh. Wonder what kind of research it was. Probably has to do with her profession. Psychology fuck.
Yeah.
Analytical psychology.
Because of her special ability, Athena couldn't handle being in school very often. And I was always out sick because of my weak constitution. Maybe that's why we became such good friends. We used to play together here at the Space Center a lot. It brings back memories.
Sounds like Athena's mother played a big role here at the Space Center. Oh, Daddy, show her that picture.
Atta girl. Good idea.
That's my girl. Always full of good ideas.
Present.
The Hat One exhibit.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if the picture would have its own separate slot.
Nope. Chuck Testa. Miss Woods, could you please take a look at this?
Oh, look! There's Tina's mom! Ponko!
Ponko!
Athena's actually a robot. Did you guys know that?
No wonder she can't handle her emotions well.
The woman on the far right, the one in the kimono, that's Dr. Metis Yikes. Metis Sykes. Is that a pun?
Athena's mom. Athena's mother's murderer. Athena's mother's murder. Did that by any chance have any connection to the Hat One project?
What? Why, yes, it did. As I recall, it happened on the day before the launch.
Just as I suspected.
Flashback to fucking 15 minutes ago. It was just one line, but still.
Yeah. on. So this is the murder Director Cosmos was talking about. So Sykes could be a play on psychology or psyched. Therefore, her name, her full name, could be a play on the word in relation to meta psychology.
Ah, gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But we call her Yikes, so.
Yeah, so doesn't help. And then Metis comes from the Greek deity of the same name, who was the Titaness of wisdom and deep thought. So another reference to psychology.
There you go.
Yeah. Does that mean that the crime prosecutor Blackwell was convicted of is the murder of Athena's mother? There's a chance her death is somehow connected to the current case.
There is?
Thank you for all your help, Miss Woods. And please, try not to worry. I'll make sure that bitch stays in jail. Wait, I mean, I won't let anything happen to Athena.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. I know you'll take good care of her.
So we need to investigate the robotics lab and also talk to Athena. We've got our plates full, Daddy. I hope we can fit it all in before the day is through.
The detention center first, then. We have to see Athena before visiting hours are over.
Are you ready to voice 3 characters?
No.
How much more do we have?
We're like, after this scene, we're like halfway through the investigation.
Okay, so then like after this is a good stopping point.
This is also going to be a pretty quick one.
Okay. Oh, I see.
I'm still not ready to fucking voice 3 characters.
Are you ready to voice 4 characters?
Well, if it isn't Mr. Lawyer, fancy meeting you here. Oh, hello, Detective Fulbright. Here on business or pleasure?
Always both.
Always both, always. In justice we trust.
Do you think he says that in bed?
Yes.
Like when he's like, in justice we trust.
Yes, when he's in the middle of cream pieing himself.
Yeah.
At night, he shouts that.
Yeah.
I choose to believe that to be true. To tell the truth, I'm here to interview Ted Tonate. The one behind the courtroom bombing incident? He suddenly said he's ready to tell the truth about that case. And what he was saying was so incredible, I just had to come right over here to hear more.
Incredible? What was he saying?
Why don't you hang around and hear it for yourself? Really? Us? Are you sure? Is that legal? Ha ha ha! I give you my special permission. Here comes the bummer now.
Pablo Sanchez.
Pablo Sanchez steps up to bat.
You, what nerve you have to come here? You're here to laugh at me, I suppose.
Probably. Like I'd waste my breath on you. After all, you're the one who assaulted Apollo and put him in the hospital.
Violence, no. Question, okay.
No violence. Too bad Apollo didn't get a chance to say that before you attacked him. Fine. Then just answer me this, Mr. Tonate. What is this truth of yours about the courtroom you blew up?
No, I didn't do it. I didn't blow up the courtroom. When I killed Detective Army, there was another person in the room.
What? What are you talking about? Who else could have been there?
I saw it, I tell you. I saw someone's hand as they were stealing the remote switch. This person was there and witnessed the murder I committed.
What?
I don't know who it was. I don't remember what I gave his actual voice. But that's who blew up the courtroom.
You expect us to buy that for $5 US?
Easy there, Trucy. Here's 10, sir. I don't see any psych locks. So I guess he must not be lying.
Pardon me. I got a little carried away. But I'm telling you the truth. I did not detonate that bomb.
And there you have it. We can't exactly ignore his claims, of course, so we're doing a follow-up. We're even analyzing the bomb itself. Or what's left of it. We haven't found any new facts yet, though. Wow. They laid it all out, piece by piece.
Oh, look at all those beautiful little pieces. I wish I could have them.
Uh-oh. Looks like his geek switch has been activated. And that's not all, if you know what I'm saying. Well, I hope you're ready for Prosecutor Blackwell's special brand of questioning.
Ugh, anything but that.
I'm afraid I'll have to be off now, too. I was just about to question Miss Yikes.
You're going to see Athena now?
That's right. Oh, did you folks come to see her? Sorry for the trouble, but could you come back later? Well, I'm off. Well, off I go. Well, here I go. Well, see you later. Well,
Watch me
have
go.
A good day. Watch me go. Here I go. What bad timing. Looks like we'll have to wait until after her questioning is over to see her.
And after we came all this way too, well, I guess it's back to the Space Center, which is luckily 3 feet to the left. Let's go check out the robotics lab, Daddy.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
Okay. We'll call it there.
We'll call it here, Daddy. We're gonna go 3 feet to the left in about a week's time.
You know what? Let's move. Judge Tron JT02. Feed
The
me
replacement.
beef stew.
Beef stew. Please input beef stew for verdict. Not guilty.
Free Taco Bell for everyone.
Ha ha ha.
I am out of touch with modern technology. Insert humor. Okay. Well, hey, thanks for joining, guys.
We did it.
We
We
did
barely
it.
made it through another day.
Yeah.
Just in general. Like
Yeah.
another day on this earth.
Yeah. Anyway, join us for podcast tomorrow.
Ooh, Pokemon.
Pokemon Gen 5 podcast, baby.
Pokemon Gen 5 podcast, baby.
And then Cloud is starting Final Fantasy V this week.
Oh.
And then I'm playing Minish Cap.
Yeah.
And then Lennon's playing Dragon Quest Heroes, the Wind Trees Woe and the Blight Below.
The World Trees.
The World Tree. God damn, I keep saying Wind Trees.
I don't know why.
I don't know why either.
It's funny, though.
Yeah. It's
The Wild Tweez Woe with the White Below. The White Below, Daddy. The Wild Tweez Woe with the White Below, Daddy.
Thank you. Thanks for joining, guys. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.